In this lecture, we are going to be able to switch from one item to the other. Okay, now to do this, we have to go back to our VS Code. And the first step is to create a name route. And the first screen we have is the dashboard underscore screen. Okay, now over here, we can just get rid of this first of all. And over here, we are going to say static. Now, the reason we are saying static is we want to make this variable globally accessible. And also, we can say const, and it's going to be a type of string. And then we can call this route name. And it's going to be equal to, and just use a backslash, and it's going to be equal to dashboard screen. In order to visit the screen, we are going to refer to it by this route name. Okay, so you can say dashboard screen. Great. And also we can do same for the vendors. And first of all, we have to say static to make the route name variable globally accessible. And const and string, and the name of the variable is called route name. And this, and now we can use a backslash, and then vendor screen. Great. We can just do for this both first, that is for the dashboard screen and for the vendor screen. Okay. And now the second step is to go to the main.dat file, and over here you can see we have this admin menu item, and we have the title, we have the icon, we also do have this route. And for this route, whenever we click on this dashboard, we want to go to the dashboard screen, then dot the route name. That's cool. And for the vendors, also, whenever we click on that, we want to go to the vendors screen, then dot route name. Okay. Now, by just doing this, it is still not going to work. Now, what we have to do is, first of all, you can see we have this body over here, and default, it is set to this test called dashboard. Now, what we want to do is, whenever a user choose any of this, we want to be able to update this test to show that. Okay. Now, to do this, over here, we can create a variable. We can just go ahead and specify the type of variable. It's going to be a type of widget, and we can call this underscore selected item, and it's going to be set to dashboard screen at first. Basically, we want the dashboard screen to be the first screen the user is going to see. Sorry, not the user, but we. Okay, get rid of this. Definitely the user should not have access to our admin panel. And use Ctrl S to save now. And this is going to be the screen, the initial screen. Okay, loading. We just have to wait for this a bit. Performing all three stats. Okay, still loading. Okay, now let's go check this out. And you're going to see the dashboard screen. Okay, you can see now we have the dashboard. This is what you're seeing over here. And now what we want to do is, whenever we choose other item like the vendors, we want to be able to display it over here. To do this, we're going to be creating a function. Over here, we can call this function screen, sorry, screen selector. And within the parentheses, we are going to pass a value known as item. So whenever we call this, so we're going to pass a variable known as item. So whenever we call this screen selector, we then have to pass the value to this. We then have to pass the value to this variable. For the now, you can see this variable as the selected item or a value that will store the selected item, or a variable that will store the selected item. That is whatsoever we are choosing over here. Okay. And what we then have to do is to use the switch, because basically we want to switch from one screen or from one item to another. And now we can have the parentheses over here, and we then have to say, sorry, just gonna, okay, go up a bit in order to avoid some extra line. And now we can then say switch, switch, small letter and not capital letter. And now within the parentheses, we can then say item dot route. You can see this is not giving us any auto prediction. We can just type this out. So we want to switch to the route which was start. And now we can go further and say case. And this is going to be dashboard screen, then dot route to access the dashboard screen. So I'm basically using this name route in order to visit this dashboard screen. So whenever we call on this route name, so I'm basically saying we want to go to this dashboard screen. So basically what the switch does is it helps you to switch between one item to the other. Same as the case. Both always goes together, okay? Sorry, we need this over here. This over here. And now we can set state, because you can see default, it is set to the dashboard screen. So now we can set state, and we want to update the selected item to equal the dashboard screen. Dashboard screen. Okay, great. And finally, we can break. Okay. And what we then have to do is to copy from this to this and paste. And this is going to be vendors dot route name. So whenever we click on that, we want to go to the vendors route name. And this is going to be what? Vendors. We want to update the selected item to the vendors route name. Seems cool. So this is what you have to do for the rest of the screen. That is the other screen and product screen and so on. And lastly, over here, it has a property known as unselected. Within the parentheses, it's then going to take in a value which is known as, or sorry, it's going to take in a value which is referred to as whatsoever item the user is going to choose. That is, if the user is selecting the vendors, withdraw, and so on. Okay, item, and we can use this type of function. And now we can then call the selected, I think, what did we call selected? Okay, screen selector. And now you can see it's asking for the value to that variable, and it has automatically passed the value to that variable called item. Okay, and hopefully you understand all this, but if you don't, it is still fine. In the future, you are definitely going to understand this. Okay, now use Ctrl and S to save. And okay, wait for this. Wait for this, wait for this, wait for this, wait for this. Performing ought to start. Okay, and now we can try to see what's gonna happen. Okay, currently we are in the dashboard screen because we created a variable called underscore selected item, and we basically passed it to the body, right? And when we click on this, when we click on the dashboard, we want to set the state and update it to the dashboard. And when we click on the vendor screen, we want to update it to the vendor screen. So that is what we mean by case vendor screen route name. So when we click on this, we want to be able to update this variable to that. And let's go check. And currently we're in the dashboard screen. Click on vendors and you can see manage vendors. Seems good. And now we can do for the rest. The orders item we have is the withdrawal. And in order to easy our life, we can just go back to the uh, dashboard screen and copy this. And withdraw, we can get rid of this and paste. And I'm just going to copy this quickly and paste. Let's go. And the next item we have, sorry, I mistakenly opened that. Okay. The next item we have is the orders. Okay, orders. I'm gonna get rid of that. Then I'm gonna close this. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna do for two more and you can do the rest yourself. Orders. And this is gonna say order screen. The next item on our list is categories. Okay, categories. And category. You just say category screen. Or we can just use copy and paste this. And products. Okay, products. Okay. Products. You just get rid of this. Products. And the last, I think, is upload banner, I think. Okay, upload banner screen. And now we have to go to the main screen. The main screen. And we just have to copy from this part to the switch. And this is going to be withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. Okay. And we want to update it to the withdraw screen. And the next on our list is orders categories. Orders category. We can just copy this. Sorry. Over here. And we're just gonna indent this. Yeah. And this is gonna say orders on the screen, and we want to update the selected item to the order screen. And categories. Categories. And we want to update it to the categories. And we need for the product and upload banner. Okay, copy this. Whenever we click on this, we want to go to the products, product screen, and we want to then update the selected item to the product screen. Okay. And last on the list, last. Okay, and this is going to be upload banner screen. Upload banner screen. Okay, great. And when we click on withdraw, we want to go to withdraw drawer screen, the route name, and when we click on orders, we want to go to order screen, route name. Okay, when we click on categories, we want to go to category screen, the route name. Remember, this is a name route, so I'm basically using this to go to that screen. And this is going to be product screen, the route name, and finally, this is going to be upload banner screen, the route name. And hopefully you understand all this, but if you don't, you can please do well to let me know, and I'm always available to support you. Okay, we can click on vendors and you can see manage vendors. Okay, okay, it is not something. I'm just gonna check what's going on there. Okay, we did not save all this file. So we can just auto reload this to automatically save those files. Okay, I'm just gonna do this again to make sure it is saved. Okay, perform an auto restart and wait for this and wait for this and wait for this. Sorry, I'm taking your time. Okay, okay, and let's go try this out now. Load. Okay, now we are currently in the dashboard screen. Click on manage vendors, withdraw, orders, categories, products, upload banners.